Greetings, this is Carlos Alea from Alga Vista. Today I have Robin Grove here, in which I would like to extend a warm welcome. Thank you for being here today, Robin.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on the podcast today.
Can you share me a little bit about your role and how it fits into the bigger picture at your current business?
Yeah, I'm one of the brokers and founding partners of Pioneer Realty Partners. We are a Texas brokerage and we're located in the Hill Country just outside of San Antonio. We do service the San Antonio greater area and parts of Austin. And I started this business it was in 2021 with my mother. So we're partners and she's also a managing broker. I've been in real estate since I was 18. I graduated high school when I was 17, and that summer in July, I took my tests, but in California. So I am a Texas native, but I've been licensed in California and here and have worked in both markets, and my clients cross states. And I just always knew at the point of entering real estate that I'd own my own brokerage, especially after leading some other larger companies.
Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. So yes, the title for today's podcast, Where Real Estate is Headed Beyond Just Faster Deals. Are there any major shift that you're seeing currently at your industry as of right now?
Yeah, especially here in Texas, we're seeing a cooling of the market. I would say it's more of a balancing. We still have lots of people moving here, so properties are still selling, but our inventory, like across the nation, is higher. So buyers have more choices, but I see that sellers are kind of firm in what they want.
Yeah.
So I believe according to Zillow, it got released maybe 2 weeks ago, home prices have come down around 2%. It's not significant. For Texas specifically, the San Antonio area was just over 2%. I don't know if that number is skewed a little bit because we do have so much new construction. And with new construction, we're seeing that they're taking big price reductions because they can afford to, compared to a home that's resale. I know that doesn't apply to all markets. We're very heavy in new construction in Texas. So that might look a little bit different depending on what pocket you're in.
Yeah, yeah. I am a South Florida native. I have no experience in the real estate market. I mean, I tend to watch the trends due to my current position into the financial markets. But yeah, down here in South Florida, it is kind of a similar theme with a lot of constructions going on, and there it seems like, yeah, I agree. From what I've been seeing, it seems to be a buyer's market. But Texas seems like there's a bright future. I'm not sure if you're up to date, but I think they're opening like a new stock exchange, the Texas Stock Exchange.
The Texas Stock Exchange, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's supposed to, I'm not sure if they cross their T's or dotted their I's, but beginning of next year. Yeah. So that definitely should.
I guess I need to get up to date on financial business in Texas.
I'm sure that's in different parts of the state. I'm not sure if it's in Houston or in one of the other big cities.
It
But
sounds
yeah,
like a Dallas thing.
Dallas. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
I'll look into it though. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would never want anyone to really ask me financial questions, seeing how I have a partial financial degree. But
What was I gonna? I was gonna ask you a question, just slipped out of my mind. But yeah, no, most definitely Texas. I think Texas was one of the states where you had one of the bigger booms was happening right after COVID. Is that right? Yeah.
yes, it was a frenzy. The housing market was a frenzy. And it continued right through, I think, a little bit longer than other areas. I know definitely at least longer than California. We hit probably fall of 2023.
Okay.
Things started to shift. And in that shift was where we're seeing the high interest rates above 7 that really cooled off our buyers. Something I saw that was really interesting. Our interest rate now is about equal to what was this time last year. So it seems like possibly that has maybe balanced out a little bit in the high 6s. So I did see a big shift from last month in a particular neighborhood that I have a lot of clients in.
Okay.
And there is still new construction in that neighborhood. So when you have new construction in a neighborhood and then it's old enough that you have resale in it as well, it can become very difficult in a market like we're seeing right now. However, we were going from roughly one resale property a month under contract. And just in June, we're just over 2 weeks in, there's 6 pending resale properties.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I
that
was just,
shift.
yeah, I was going to say something shift. I don't know if it's that buyers are like, hey, interest rates really haven't changed much in the past 12 months, and we do need to move, or we do need a secure property, or we're not wanting to rent anymore.
Yeah.
That they're just like, this is the new norm, and they're not going to wait around anymore to purchase.
Yeah, yeah. There's sounds like there's a lot of moving parts to see if interest rates are going to come down. It seems like we're having an inflation problem. So also with the whole tariff thing, they're kind of waiting to see what the outcome is going to be due to a lot of uncertainty that's going on. Do you focus mostly on residential or also commercial properties?
My business is split half and half.
Okay.
Half of my listings right now are commercial properties.
Okay. Very cool. What's been working well for you right now, and what's been frustrating?
As far as getting property sold or
Like
obtaining clients, or
overall, as far as managing your business.
the biggest challenge I see in my business right now is days on market.
Mm.
So that's been the biggest adjustment. I think with everything that has happened, the rapid acceleration of home sales that we at least experienced here, that's what sellers got used to. And I heavily deal with sellers. And so it's right now it's about, and I've talked to agents in my office about this all the time. It is about setting up expectations to your sellers. So when you go into the listing appointment, you need to know your data of that particular neighborhood so well that you know the days on market for that 4-bedroom house. They might compare it to the 3-bedroom house that's $70,000 cheaper, but there's going to be more buyers for that house. So maybe that type of home is only on the market for 30 days, where a 4-bedroom home that's almost 500,000 is going to be on the market for 67 days. So right now I see the biggest challenge, at least within my office, is that agents need to set up sellers for expectations of how long their home's going to be on the market. Pricing is a huge one. So it is kind of like that balancing out again for the sellers, especially with buyers having so much inventory to choose from right now.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Do you tend to deal with a lot of local sellers and or buyers, or do you have folks from across state lines, or maybe even international investors or buyers?
I have my commercial clients are all out of state, and yeah, they all own the property, and I will help them. I would say I don't really do residential leasing.
Okay.
I think you froze, so I stopped talking. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We're moving along. Sometimes the platform we use this, it just stops for a second or two, but everything's still moving along. We're good.
So I still
Yeah.
talk.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So pretty much all my residential clients are local. I have had a few buyers that came from out of state earlier this year, but pretty much. So our brokerage is very hyper focused on local community, and we really invest in the people. Our brokerage is small. We have 8 agents in our office, and we've been open for just over 3 years, going on 4 years. So our intent isn't to recruit agents. We're
Okay.
not trying to have the most agents, but instead we want quality. I started out in California at Berkshire Hathaway, had a great experience there. It was fine, but you're also just in this pool of agents. So our intention with Pioneer was just to be really focused on our clients and the community we're in. And so a lot of our clients are within our community and from word of mouth. Part of technology and the changes in that, I know a lot of realtors use. My teens are going to kill me for this. So I have teen boys. I have 3 teen boys. And I'm like, oh, I should get on TikTok. There's so many realtors on TikTok. They're like, Mom, don't get on TikTok. That's a horrible idea. But I'm like, in a way, I'm still doing real estate old school, by community, face to face, who I know. So a lot of my clients are local. They're here. They've lived in their houses for a while, things like that. But I'm not so old that I don't use technology,
Yeah. No, you
even though
can.
I had to download Chrome.
No, it's a must-have. It's a definitely must-have. With TikTok, I mean, it seems that our current administration has a deal that pending. We don't know what's the outcome is going to be, but It seems that they're very driven to acquire TikTok, so that might be a wise choice to definitely being up to date with what's going on in that category, especially when it comes to aligning to your business. Awesome,
I will
awesome.
not be doing any TikTok dances.
No, no, this is a lot of good information, but dances.
But yeah, technology has, I definitely believe that agents and brokers, they need to move along with technology. If they don't, they're going to get to a point where they could still do business the old school way. But I mean, really, when I started out in real estate long lifetime ago, our files were literally put in these folders with brags at the top.
Yeah,
And everything was printed, and then you handed it to the broker to review. Like all of that's gone.
yeah.
We have electronic files. The agents send it to us. I read it all. I stamp, I approve it, and then it goes into a secured system to be stored. Like even those little changes over time have someone who's entering the industry now would have never known that they had to print out these weird looking little folders with pins in them. But bigger, looking forward to the future. Of course, AI is the hugest
Yeah.
discussion in our
Yeah.
industry right now. I would say I started using Chat GPT maybe last fall, maybe around September or October. I would say it wasn't as good as it is today.
Oh yeah.
I think they developed a lot over the past 3 months. I can stick a photo of a listing. So I'll just give an example of what I do with Chat GPT. So I will create a folder. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 draw loop. And that's a folder in my chat. And I can go in there, I can upload a photo of the home. I can, using very specific prompts, you can ask it
Right.
to do stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think it's being lazy because I'm still putting in all my own thoughts of the property and all the information. I think what it's doing is helping increase things for visibility purposes for ads, like the SEO searches and stuff. It can, I don't know how it works. I do not know how technology works at all, but somehow it draws the most accurate information or it figures out what's trending for buyers. So maybe it pulls something off of there that maybe I wouldn't see that they know that buyers are looking for
Hmm.
online. So I am using technology for that, as well as other things, of course. I kind of look at it like I look at AI like an assistant.
Yeah.
So it really assists with a lot of things to not just take workload off of me, but improve it for my clients.
More efficient.
Yeah.
Definitely make the workload more efficient. Yes, a very common trend, as I've with the previous guests that I have been discussing with, most definitely. So I presume this is one of the most exciting things that you're excited about for the remaining part of 2025 of just keeping up to date, utilizing technology in order to keep yourself up to date and exactly what is it the buyers are looking for to see if you're able to meet that criteria in order to ultimately, provide a client satisfaction, I presume, no?
Yes. Yeah. I really use right now, I'm really using the AI technology to improve my services to my client, how I'm making their property better through those services. And there's a lot of crazy stuff like on the internet, mostly like those Facebook real estate conversation things where people are like, oh my gosh, AI is like taking over realtors or Zillow's making them non existent now, all kinds of crazy stuff. And I think there might be some older agents who might be more hesitant to use these things, or some agents who are anti technology because it scares them because they're like, well, if this is creating a flyer for me, then like is at some point am I not going to be needed for things? But I really don't think that's true. Agents who I think have the proper motivation in the industry, they're not after like just the sell or I guess, I mean, it is our job, right? We do that, we work because this is our profession, but it's for me at least, it's about the client. And I believe clients, they need that personal touch.
Yes.
Having a real estate transaction is very personal and emotional. And I really don't think the agents are ever going to go away because our buyers and sellers, they need that face to face with someone.
Yeah.
AI is not going to be able to get them the face to face that they need, like that client enhancement with a live person.
Yeah, no, definitely. You need that human touch in order to make sure that they're being heard. Obviously, as you stated, you need to filter out, make yourself much more efficient. But once you get that client in that meets all their criteria, so able to give them that personalized human experience in order to make them feel comfortable, to get the buyer's trust, so they're able to realize their overall objective. Any key takeaway lessons from the previous years while utilizing technology?
Yes, I think there's a lot of things out there. So I'll be the first to say I've changed all kinds of CRMs, like maybe 6 months later, because I'm like, oh, well, I saw this thing and this CRM does this now. So my biggest takeaway, and this is, I guess, for other agents, is that once you figure out what you want to do, research it heavily and stick to it. Because if you're jumping around and you're trying to do too much at one time, you can get overwhelmed and then quit it. So for me last fall, that was like, okay, I know Chat GPT is going to be able to do all of these things. So I almost made like a schedule, like a calendar of this is what I'm going to learn to be able to implement in my business. And then once you figure something, like you become really great at this one thing, then move on to something else.
Yeah, no, most definitely. If not, you end up becoming just providing feedback for all these CRMs when obviously that's not what you're here for.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and it can become so overwhelming. So my next thing that I'm kind of looking into that has to do with technology, and I don't know, it kind of goes back to I gonna answer my phone every time by myself and make sure I'm right there for the client, or am I not? So now there's these AI services that they're gonna answer your phone for you. They're gonna take an appointment for you. They're gonna take down all the information. So I'm kind of playing with that. So I'm like, it would be really great because I sometimes I can't get to my phone if I'm in another appointment. So it would be, I'm thinking maybe it's better that AI answers the phone than them get a voicemail.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Awesome. Thank you so much for that insight. Where can viewers find you and get in contact if they would love to like to reach out with you?
They can contact me and I can provide you the links. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. You can look for me personally by Robin Grove or Pioneer Realty Partners, and also my email, which is just robin@pioneerrealtypartners.com. I also have my cell phone number that's publicly posted. So I'm happy to discuss anything with buyers, sellers, or even other agents. I truly believe, and this is what I teach all the agents in our office, that when you're on the other side of the transaction, and a lot of us, all of us in our office are pretty seasoned. I would never have wanted to be 19-year-old me on the other side of a transaction and get someone who's really rude or makes me feel less than or just not smart enough to be doing what I'm doing, because at some point everyone's learning.
Right.
I'm huge on education. I'm still like, I get excited to go take my continuing education classes. I ask that the agents in our office seek out additional classes beyond what they need. And so, one of the biggest things I feel like is people in our industry can always be nicer to each other
Yeah.
and learn from each other.
Most definitely, even aside from all the stress that can come along when trying to go through that transaction. Do you have a website for your brokerage?
I do, yes. It is pioneerrealtypartners.com.
Awesome.
And on there, you can also connect with me, and all my info is on there as well.
Amazing. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for giving us your time here, Robin. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Thank you.